There are words of defiance today from Iran's leadership in response to Washington's imposition of new sanctions on that country. The far-reaching measures follow Donald Trump's decision to pull the U.S. out of the nuclear deal. Dominic Velitis is tracking the developments today. He's in our London bureau. And Dominic, we're going to talk about what Tehran is saying in just a moment, but just make sure everyone understands. Tell us first what these sanctions are. They've just gone into effect, and why they're being imposed now.
Well, they've been reimposed, Heather, because earlier this year, you'll remember how the Trump administration decided to pull out of the U.S. out of the 2015 nuclear deal, a move which has led us to today and the ending of all U.S. economic benefits granted to Tehran under that agreement. But Washington wants to stop what it calls Tehran's malign activities in the Middle East and beyond. And I should point out as well that the U.S. has been gradually reimposing sanctions over recent months, but this latest round today is by far the most punishing. Here's the U.S. Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo.
These sanctions have already had an enormous impact. We've already reduced Iranian crude oil exports by over 1 million barrels per day. That number will fall farther.
Core parts of Iran's economy will be hit, Heather, including banking, oil and shipping. Oil, the big one, of course, because it really is Iran's main source of funding. Hundreds of individuals, entities, vessels and aircraft are now on the sanctions list. Even the so-called SWIFT network, which is used for making international payments, is expected to be cut off, thereby isolating Iran from the international financial system. So they are very tough sanctions, Heather, and they will not only affect Iran, but also many countries that do business with it. Heather.
There have been strong words in response from Tehran today. Tell us about that, Dominic, and the other international reaction as well.
Well, Iran's President Hassan Rouhani has vowed to break these reimposed sanctions and carry on selling oil on the international markets regardless. And over the weekend, Iranians reportedly took to the streets in protest. Indeed, state media said millions turned out in towns and cities across the country. It's a claim which we are unable to verify, but Iran has also responded today with a show of force, staging air defense drills in the north of the country to prove its military capabilities, and they're expected to run for at least a couple of days. There has, though, been reaction too from traditional US allies. The UK, France and Germany, which are among the 5 countries still committed to the 2015 nuclear deal, have all objected to the reimposition of these sanctions, and they have pledged to support European firms to carry on doing what they describe as legitimate business with Iran. They've set up a kind of alternative payment system that will enable companies to carry on trading with Iran, but without facing those US penalties. Heather.
Thank you very much, Dominic Velitis from London.